Here we go. MSGM moving, but this looks more like a continuation. Very low float though, so this was definitely a good move in terms of float. Good morning, good morning. It is Friday. Hopefully I can end the week on all green. I actually noticed yesterday that I'm 4 for 4 this week. So yeah, good morning Quantix, good morning. Welcome everyone. Just a heads up, I'm not expecting today to do anything crazy. It's been this way for a while. We have MSGM, but this is more of a continuation from yesterday, so not as enthusiastic, but it's good to see that we had a stock actually gap and hold 100%. Okay, we have Aton moving. Does have news at 7. We'll check it out. Okay, complete tumor regressions observed. Okay, in preclinical models. Okay, that's important to note. Okay, float's not crazy high. We have a bit of headwind because of the daily, but it's not terrible. It is a bit of a headwind, though. 550s, 560s, the first clear resistance. It looks like we're struggling at that right now. If you get above 550, 560, then you start to have room to 6 or 7. Volume has been somewhat light till now. So you had a dump from 560 to 5. This catalyst doesn't seem amazing to me. But this has had a history of making a very large move too. Like, there's some good things going here. The float is also fairly low. The only issues really is just colder market context, and the volume here is a bit lighter. We also did hit that clear wall. From what I can tell currently, it looks like Aton is the only thing that's really showing up on the scanners, so I'll keep my eyes on this for now. I mean, the argument would be, is it going to hold here and bounce? I mean, there's a chance it could. But I'm skeptical. A break of 560 would be huge here. On high volume, too. would want to get this 1 minute high, but this candle looks particularly dangerous. Very high volume, looked like a flush. If we can see this start to curl and get back to 560, I might be more interested. I think over here, it might just be a little too dangerous to just roll over. Hit early win with MSGM. I called it a day. Already calling it a day. I mean, I can't blame you. It's so cold. Was hoping it would hold for 7 a.m. bulls to attack it, but I guess it's a Friday after all. Yeah, I mean, when I came in at 7 and I see this is just chop. To me, I don't want to be involved with this. If we were still holding up here around the highs, I would definitely be interested, but I mean, when I see it get like this, I just don't want a part of it. I'm surprised you guys are trading so early on such cold days. To me, I would think I would only want to go earlier or stay later if the market was hot. But I mean, hey, if you're getting hits, you're getting hits. And yeah, this still looks kind of choppy. I still don't think this is dead, by the way. I think if this can hold and recover with high volume, I definitely think there's like a 30-40% chance of that happening. The fact that it had this flush and then it held here is at least a little bit bullish. But I still think the odds of it going down are higher than up. Too unclear for me to take a trade here. I said I wanted to watch this from yesterday. If you remember, my prediction was that this was going to sell off throughout the day and go back to lows. And we had exactly that. So it was probably overhyped. It was a medium large cap stock after all. And it did end up going all the way back down. So it was overhyped. Yeah, the same thing happened with Getty Images. So I was kind of anticipating that would happen. Unfortunate because as stocks don't hold up from the previous day, it makes bears more aggressive. My goal on Friday is to hit early green, no matter how small, and go off to work. Yeah, I was looking at BKYI too. This one's not terrible. It's holding up decently. It's the second gapper on the scanners. But hey, good job, Dr. Happy Joints, for at least being green today. And it looks like this might just be completely failing. Not really what we'd want to see. Only one 7 a.m. news catalyst, and it looks like it's failed. So we're 1 for 1 on the failures, looks like. Yeah, if this could have held here, because we did have this large bearish candle, but if it could have held here and curled, and then we saw volume, I think there was a real chance that could have happened. We actually haven't seen this much lately. A lot of these setups, at least the 7 a.m. till 9 a.m., a lot of setups, we actually haven't seen candles curl and make a new high attempt. It's been actually pretty rare. Yeah, even for me today, my goal was really just take a few trades, try to be slight green. If I see something that looks truly strong, I'm okay with sizing up or trading it more, but I really need to see something with a very, you know, like A+ quality, high criteria setup. BKYI is breaking out a little bit more. I'm still not interested because it's too cheap, but Just worth noting, it is kind of curling here, if anyone is interested in this. Yeah, I'm not super surprised that this is sold off either. This news catalyst was kind of mid. Yeah, it's like complete tumor regressions observed in preclinical models. Not even the actual results, just preclinical. It doesn't really mean much. This did have the daily going for it, and it did have the lower float going for it. But the volume wasn't quite there. It's looking like I'm just going to be sitting tight for now, because this was the only thing I had on watch. We can watch MSGM too. This thing just, even at 7 o'clock, this thing didn't really do anything. It's just kind of been trading sideways. Animal model, yeah. It's nothing really amazing with that news catalyst. But yeah, good news with the with this account. After yesterday, we're finally back into green from this cold market, because while I was positive gross after commissions, I was actually still red on the account. So after yesterday, we are flipping back into green territory. So even through this cold market and with commissions, I am still managing to be slightly profitable, barely, but that's very cool to see. Aton's actually dumping pretty hard. More than I would have expected. This volume's kind of light. This actually might be an overreaction. I'm just gonna try and snipe something here. Okay, I'm in here half size. This is quite an aggressive flush. It feels like an overreaction. I'm looking for recovery to 435 or so. Do 437 with 50 shares. I'm just going to put it in case it does a quick spike up to that. That's a little aggressive, actually. Yeah, this kind of flush on this volume feels like an overreaction. Only half size though, because I was buying into a knife. Need to limit exposure for that. Yeah, this market is pretty terrible for dollar cost averaging. If you're going to do it, you need to be extremely careful. Like, even though my entry was actually pretty strong, I am still not very confident about averaging in here. I'm probably just going to keep 50 shares, and if it ends up reversing on me and going to like 370 or something, it is what it is. But I've seen a couple stocks where you would think that it shouldn't bleed the way it does, and then it just keeps on doing it. I might give this another minute or two, but if it doesn't end up breaking 430s, I might just need to cut it. Like, this flush is like on no volume. Right? You have 7,000 bringing it from 420 down to 4. It's such slow volume. It's crazy to me that like these kind of moves can even happen. It feels like such manipulation. Like, it almost has to bounce, you know? And then I get in that mindset where I don't want to sell. Because like right now, I'm still bullish on this in attempt to go back. This feels like such an overreaction. I'll give it more time, I think. So there was a pretty big wall at like 28 I saw. Like, the price didn't go up to it on here, but on the level 2 I was seeing 428 had a pretty big wall. I say pretty big, it was like 5,000 shares. Hmm. All right, 40,000. 40,000 made this thing drop 45 cents. Quite a large spread. On the bright side, since nothing else is moving, I'm not losing any time efficiency here. It's not like there was something else I could have been watching. That is one problem with holding and waiting with a setup like this, is you gotta pay attention to it. I don't like taking multiple trades at the same time. But in a slower market, you can kind of do that more. See, we have 14 viewers. Hello, everybody. What was this tapping? 424? 423. Small 9,000 share buyer here. 9,000 is not insignificant given this volume, but it can be easily overpowered too. The volume has just completely gone non-existent. Raise this a little bit. Now, if it does end up breaking, I really think it's gonna go. It's death right now. Yeah, I mean, dude, I literally got the perfect timing on this. I was like 2 cents from the bottom of this massive flush. So many times, if I catch that good of an entry on a knife, like I'm almost guaranteed profit. And the fact that this thing is struggling to bounce after this, right? It was just a ladder down and then a hard flush. Like there was no 1 minute high at all on this. And then you just see it go sideways for 10 minutes. On low volume. To me, it almost feels like they're trying to hold it here to get anybody who bought here to bail. Say, screw it, this thing's not doing anything, I'm out. And then it recovers. I've seen that happen a couple times, but at the same time, I've also seen a couple stocks where it'll sell off, no recovery, break down, and then it'll just keep treading lower until the market open. I'm a little more inclined to think that's not happening because there's no volume at all. So I'm thinking this might have just been to try and make bulls get out. That's part of why I'm still holding. But I'm probably overextending a little bit because my exposure is a bit higher because I've been holding for longer. So this is honestly not the best. I'm kind of wondering if I should just cut it anyway. I said it yesterday, I don't really like having high exposure time in a cold market. Right, and we've been in this trade for about 13, 14 minutes now. Yeah, I will lower this. I'll just make it 26, 27. If we see a spike, just back up to these levels, I guess. Compromising a bit more. MSGM, how's it rolling? Let me take a look. It's somewhat recovering. I mean, it's been range bound for the last like hour or two. But yeah, it looks like it's curling a bit. $4.60 to almost $5. It's a nice little bounce there. It's like 35 cents. Looks like I broke down from 495, 475. I don't know. I'm still MSGM. It's been so range bound in this area. I'm probably not super interested in it. I want to see it get closer to highs before I really get interested. This is just like tapping on a wall here. All right, there was this wall at 428. Looks like the wall might have dropped a little bit. Kind of frustrating. Really just want to try and get out of this now. I've given it so much time. Come on, I even have a visible order. Just someone take it. We're at the half hour. We'll see if anything comes up here. MSGM, we did break through 5 now. So we're seeing a bit of continuation here. What's the volume on this candle down? 5,000. Was there still a seller here? Because, like I said, at around 428, there was like 5,000 shares. And then in each attempt to curl, it didn't even go as high the next time. So it's possible that seller had moved down. But at the same time, this volume has been non-existent. Right, a 5,000 share drop for this feels somewhat reactive. The spread is so big now, too. Trying to cross the spread to get out is not ideal. Not seeing anything pop up on the scanners yet. Give it a couple minutes. Yeah, MSGM. Looks like we're getting a bit of a hammer candle on the 5-minute, or a topping tail, rather. The volume has somewhat picked up in the last 15 minutes, too. Right, it's giving similar volume to when it did its spike back at 6:30, 6:25. I wouldn't be surprised if it does something. Yeah, this trade has been very unlucky for me. So I got an insanely good entry. I was about 4 cents off of my target profit on this first recovery attempt. Then I adjusted down. Or no, I adjusted up because I thought it might do a second leg and go higher. Didn't do that. Then I adjusted down to like 27, 24. And then we were only seeing it hit 21.20. So it's really just, it's just been a few cents under my target profit twice. Then when I was willing to scale out at 416, 415, then we see it drop down on low volume. That makes me just not want to give up on it. Yeah, that one's messing with me a little bit. Zone, not really what I'd want to see. I mean, there is news on it at least. price of the stock is so low. Yeah, the float's not even that low either. Probably not interested in this unless the volume picks up. This volume's way too low. Yeah, there's just nothing really else moving. It's just a slow day again. Yeah, MSGM. We had a bit of a recovery here. The volume did pick up. Now it's just kind of giving back it. Even on the 5-minute, doesn't look that great, right? You've got a topping tail here, highest candle volume. It just looks like chop to me. I don't really see any edge here. In either direction. Am I just like trapped in this? Did I get bamboozled from this? Because to me, the only reason this wouldn't break out and come back up was because there's still a seller here. But the volume's been non-existent too, so it could just be market makers trying to squeeze out anybody who bought here before letting the price go back. Okay, MSGM, trying to make a reversal here. It still has a lot of work to do before I'm interested in it though, right? Like just all this noise. This is just noise right now. It needs to get to a clear high before I'm more interested. I'm glad I decided not to average in with this. Okay. Very impressive volume spike here. 510 to 540. Just get me out. Just get me out of this garbage. And then it goes back down. Okay. I don't want to be in this trade anymore. So this was a clear resistance point too. We saw it squeeze above it on surprisingly high volume before a reverse. Notably too, this pullback here, the volume was much lower. And then when we saw the next leg up, the volume, this one was actually about the same volume as these ones. It wasn't until this one where it actually picked up. Still feels somewhat noisy, but this was definitely more bullish than this part of the move. We'll see if this gives a good setup or not. So it's been attempting a 1 minute high here. Looks like we had it by just a couple pennies. Yeah, by 1 penny we had a 1 minute high. Okay. We really haven't had a lot of stuff come on the scanners today. I gotta try and get out of this again. I'm just like fed up with this trade. Is there any hidden buyers? Any hidden? It's a hidden buyer 404. Cool. Taking a $2.40 loss, $2.50 loss on that. I gave that so much time. It was so frustrating for me to let that go too. Interesting how it did that right after I sold that. But no, like I had such a great entry. I was like 4 cents from my profit target. I would have made like 12 bucks on this. Would have been a nice, clean, quick win. But I was a few cents off, lowered the standards, still a few cents off. Decided to be patient with it. And it's just like trending lower. This one really kind of messed with me mentally. I'm really happy I didn't average in, because it was tempting. Held that for like 30 minutes. That's terrible. Yeah, that wasn't a great trade. I think because I kept almost hitting profit target, that was like psyching me out. And it was making me not want to let it go. I don't even know what I would rate that, because the quality, the setup quality was very high. Honestly, that was like a A+, A or A+ quality setup, just because of my timing on the entry. Toby was low. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me to think that you can see this kind of move. It's crazy. Like, I'm half tempted to get back in too, because this kind of reaction on this kind of volume, it just feels like such a major overreaction. Put one at 72. To me, it feels illogical, right? This kind of volume having this kind of price action shouldn't work. This would be something I'd be more willing to add to. This volume is nothing. Yeah, at 53, if I can get 55, I'm more okay with an ad for this. This feels even more of an overreaction to this one. Very strange. And like the news catalyst wasn't amazing, but it wasn't like bad either, so us going from an average of like 460 on the previous day down to 360 on basically just a nothing burger catalyst makes no sense. Would have been really nice if I could have hit that 50, 58 or whatever. That would have been really nice. MSGM, looks like we might be breaking down, not sure. So we had that 1 minute high, but it didn't really do anything. Still looks kind of choppy. This whole thing's been choppy. Also, if this trade on ATON doesn't work out, I think I just need to stop trading this one, because even though it, like, just from a fundamental level, looks like a great play, it hasn't resolved correctly. It didn't resolve the way I anticipated the first time, and if it doesn't the second time, to me that just might be a signal to stop touching it. Because even though this wasn't overreaction, my timing wasn't actually the greatest. Good morning, enjoying the show. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wish I could do more. It sucks that, like, the best I'm, like, having is this crap. Like, that's the best opportunity I'm seeing. MSGM looks interesting, but it's just too choppy for me. I really wanted it to get to around this 540 level. If it actually held here, I was really starting to get interested in this. If it had held 540, then I think we might have had a game on situation. But no, this thing, the volume's been decent, but it's just not, it's not approaching highs again. This major sell-off really slowed down the momentum on it. And with Aton, right? Like, this was the only news catalyst I saw at 7 that had news. And this thing, not only did it die, but then it didn't bounce at all after just a complete sell-off, and then it made a second leg on, like, no volume. I don't know, maybe I... Because, like, since this is such a low volume, I always try to think, why would the price move here with this price action? I'm always asking myself this. And I look at this and I see there was a news catalyst that was a nothing burger. It makes sense that it would return to flat. Maybe this sell-off could be trying to get bulls to capture, or shorts being overly aggressive. Price goes sideways, no one wants to buy, so it's able to be pushed down a little bit lower on very low volume. But to me, logically, it's got to recover. There's not a great reason for it to have stayed this low. We think alike? I mean, I always try to take a trade. This is like a double-edged sword, too. I always try to take a trade for a reason, right? It's not just a technical setup, but, like, there's also, like, a psychological reason. And psychologically, to me, this was meant to shake out anyone long here. So I was holding here. I held for so long, half an hour. Honestly, way higher exposure. I probably should have cut it probably somewhere in here after like 10 minutes at most. But that's the downside too, is you can start to get hooked into your own trade. You can kind of be like, well, this is so extended, it's got to bounce. And, like, one thing I've learned, man, in this kind of market with these kind of stocks, it doesn't have to bounce. It's something I've learned. As frustrating as it can be sometimes. PHIO's showing up for me. Okay, this one had a move a few days ago, right? But it gave back the entire thing. Okay, so there's a news catalyst. It won an award. I don't know if that really warrants it going up 40%, but who knows? At least it's something different to look at. Yeah, like, Winning an award doesn't really feel like a big deal to me. Very whiplashy. I'll definitely keep this on watch, but I don't think I'm going to touch it for now. We got 5 minutes till the top of the hour. Imagine how good it would have been if I could have got that 56 or 58 share ad. That would have been so good here. I don't know. I don't feel like this stock should move for this kind of news. I get that it's exposure, so there's that kind of angle. Yeah, it is Friday. This is a pretty nasty rejection, too. MSGM, looks like we're still on a pullback. Yeah, so anyone who saw this surge and then tried to buy this 1 minute high, if they didn't sell for break even, they're hurting right now. And this thing's like drying up again. That's the problem with low volume movers too. It takes so long to resolve. If it's gonna resolve. And there's been this laddering down, if you've seen the level 2 on this. It was around like 86, 84, 82, 80. Now it's dropped to 79, 78. It's kind of similar to what it did here. Makes me wonder if they're going to try and push it lower. This entire move has just been like kind of ridiculous. I guess I should be happy my exposure, even though I've been trying to trade these bounces, like I haven't really overexposed myself. I've been getting pretty good entries. Okay, we got the 8 o'clock surge here. So we'll see if anything new comes on scanners. HLLY. Okay, this looks like it had news at 7:30, and it actually just kind of creeped up, and now it's just getting a little bit of volume. Don't really like that setup. RGO. Oh, this is nasty. Just a hard flush on this. There was no news on it either. It just did a random dump from 580 down to 420. BFRI. This looks like it might be doing something. There is news at 8. This actually looks like a good catalyst. I don't like that this candle had higher red, though. Makes me not want to get in here. Float's pretty low. It's a 11,000 share seller here. It's a small seller. 120s seems to be holding for now. ATN, we're seeing a little bit of life in it. I'm not really sure what to make of this. This feels very choppy. So, like, we had high selling pressure on this candle, but then when it dropped down, we had low selling pressure on these lows. So this looks like congestion to me. I think we're going to see a bounce up or down from here. I think I probably just don't want to touch this one for now. If we see increased volume, Yeah, BKYI. It's been curling this whole time. It's close to $1. I don't know, though. At least 500k volume on any stock. Yeah, a lot of these, like, you look at this volume. This volume isn't terrible. Especially considering it's cheaper stock and lower float. But, I don't know, man. Aton might be rugging. Be having to get out of this. We'll see. It's on low volume, though. Look at that spread. Reclaims 170. We are seeing massive volume coming in here. I'm a bit worried that anybody who's been buying through this whole thing is willing to sell right now. Right, you've got the headwind of people who bought this over the last week or two. Because it's been basically straight down. A sizable rejection here at 97. Get filled and just get out here. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Like, by the way, I don't regret my attempts on this stock. This seems like a very drastic overreaction. There's no volume to back it up. But like, it's just not resolving. And like, the crazy thing too is even though I've wasted a lot of time on this setup, there's just been nothing else, right? There's just nothing else good. That's the crazy part. It's just a slow Friday. Yo, 22 viewers though. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very slow Friday stream where just nothing's moving. Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of this one at this point. Like, we'll see if it'll bite me if I just make it a public order. You want 50 shares? First time here. What's up, man? Or woman? Just trying to trade, trying not to lose money. I've only taken one trade. This is my second trade, and honestly, I really expected a bounce on this thing, and it's just kind of died. So it's probably just going to be a scratch. I'm really just trying to get out for like a small profit at this point. What's up, John? Welcome, everyone. If you do like the stream, do leave a like, maybe consider subscribing. I stream every day. I'm documenting a small cap challenge on my channel, so you can check that out if you're interested. Yeah. Give me 81. Can I have 81, please? I'm a breath of fresh air. Well, the big thing that I really wanted to do, right, because I was looking at a lot of other channels and a bunch of people just sell signals or courses, and it really makes you wonder if they're even profitable, right? Because if they're selling something, why are they selling something if they're profitable? So I'm mostly just doing this to try and actually build a community of people I can talk with as I'm trading. And I mean, I have it on the channel as well, but I don't sell anything. I don't plan to sell anything. This is just me trading to do what I like to do. And if I can have people to talk with or who have a similar mindset, then that's really the goal. But yeah, today's like basically a scratch day. This stock's moving so slow. BKYI is making another attempt at one. I've been debating if I want to give this one a shot or not. I know it's under $1, but the volume's quite high. Cancel that order for now. When? I'll check it out. Yeah, it's a penny stock, low volume. Okay, so at least it has a news catalyst. It looks like it had earnings or something. Or no, it adjusted earnings. Did it release earnings? Okay, yeah, so it released earnings at 7. We saw this nice move, but like basically no volume. Yeah, it needs volume before I'd be interested in that. No, but like as far as catalysts today, right? We had Aton, this one died. PHIO, this one just basically died. What else did we have? MSGM. This one's been chopping. There's just been nothing today. It's just a slow Friday. I was hoping I could be green today because I was green every day this week, but honestly, it's just semantics. If I'm down like $5 or $10, I don't really care. Yeah, people are short. Well, I mean, it's a mix, right? Since nothing's holding up, it makes sense that people would be shorting more aggressively and longs just aren't buying, as aggressively, right? So you get stuff like this where even though it's completely irrational, right? Basically kind of just a nothing burger news catalyst, you can see this massive drop. It just has no volume for the next 30 minutes. Then it has another leg down on extremely low volume. Like, to me, this makes no sense. This is irrational. And I do think it's only a matter of time before you see something like this, and then a massive, massive spike comes in, where someone just says, screw it. I see there's super high short volume, or maybe there was a misconviction, right? Maybe there was actually a good news catalyst, and then the bulls step in. It's a matter of time. Like, we've been in this cold market for 3 weeks. Bears have gotten very aggressive. Just one strong news catalyst where they overshort it, and it could be game on. It's so sad, too. I had an order to sell 81, and the bid was at 80, and I didn't take it. But yeah, probably just waiting for the half hour. Same thing as the last few days. If I don't see anything interesting on the half hour, then I might just scoop early for the day. We'll just have to wait and see. BKYI making another attempt for the $1 break. We've had super high volume this whole time. Oh yeah, you shorted Aton on my trade pool eval. It's your only trade today. I mean, hey, hopefully you got some paper profits, right? Yeah, there's just nothing really. Like, I could try and take this because we broke $1 and the volume's super high. But I'm just looking at this daily, and I just feel like there's a lot of people underwater that want to get out. And they're going to see that this thing is up, and they're just going to dump. I suspect it's squeezed like this. Was there even a news catalyst? 4 a.m. Okay, so there was a catalyst at 4, right? So it was a bit both, right? You had very overreacted sell-off, followed by a news catalyst. So you kind of have a 1-2 punch going there. So it makes sense, this first move. But I'm really worried about an extension past this because everything's underwater. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on BKYI. I'm just going to wait for 8:30, see if there's anything that comes out. HLLY, we're getting some volume coming through with it. So this was one that had a news catalyst at 7. It did a little pop, and we only started getting volume around here. This actually is very reminiscent of SMGT or whatever it was, where there was a news catalyst, it was a higher float. It took like half an hour to an hour before volume started coming. I might actually give this one a chance, just because it's reminiscent of that. We are getting this nice volume pop too. My only fear is this could be a major rug. I might wait for a proper setup if we see one. This would be a bit of a slower move too, because if this is, since this is a larger float, this would be more institutional focused, so they're going to buy a bit slower. Okay, float is 58 million. Yeah, I would expect it to be higher. But this is basically the exact same thing that the main gapper yesterday did, right? It was a higher float. The first 30 minutes to an hour did nothing. Then institutional traders stepped in, and that caused the volume to increase. So it's a very similar pattern to yesterday, and that was the biggest mover. I don't really like these two candles, though. I'd like it to pull back a bit more first. Yeah, I'll take a starter there. If we can break back above 50, I might add. If that happens. This volume is somewhat high, though. It's not crazy high, but it's somewhat high. I'll be a little more patient on this one, too. If this is institutional traders, they're going to take a bit longer to make the move. So I need to give this a little more wiggle room. It could be the case, though, that this is just consistent selling pressure here. Right, all these volume candles are higher. This could just be a trap. Maybe I jumped the gun a little too quick on that. Well, in this kind of market especially, confirmation is even more difficult. Because by the time you have confirmation, the moves are already done. Because the moves just aren't happening. Yeah, I said I would give this one more time, and I am. But to see this go straight down on higher volume, this might have just been a bull trap. I think I'm just going to cut this one here. So, main reason I'm just cutting it, I think I overreacted getting in here because this volume was still too high. I thought with me buying on this breakdown to 42, this felt like a slight overreaction and we might see the curl back up. We didn't get that immediately, and we were continuing to see that higher volume. Crazy thing too is even though today hasn't been like a great day, things are moving so slow it just doesn't really matter much, right? I'm only down like 10 or so bucks. Yeah, there's just not a lot. We got 1 minute till the top, or the half hour. We'll see if we get anything that comes out. But just not a lot of great things happening. Not a lot of anything happening, honestly. Right, I've seen like 3 stocks hit the scanner. Also, I didn't really mention it, but BKYI, we're kind of holding here, but we did sell off from this $1 level. MSGM, it's still Chop City. There's just nothing really clean here. Very range bound. Just nothing really great. Like, I've really expected this to bounce so many times by now. We're just seeing a bigger range. I will be curious if HLLY does end up actually rallying. I don't regret getting out just because, like, all these red candles plus the super high volume, it just looks super bearish, regardless of what you're doing. But if this does end up rallying, to me, that could just be another signal that on higher float, higher outstanding share stocks, institutional traders can do more moves like this that might look irrational on a shorter time frame. That's what I would attribute. If this does end up rallying, despite this massive bearish signal, I would attribute that to institutional traders doing shenanigans. ATON, we're seeing another attempt higher. I'm still just trying to get out for a small profit on this one. Held it way longer than I would have liked. Okay, yeah, so small profit on that one, but just a really slow play. A C quality. That was a bit early of a entry for me. And yeah, okay, MTVA, I'll check it out. Okay, cheaper stock. Immediately, I'm not that interested. What was the news? Positive new phase 2 data. Yeah, I'm probably not that interested. HLLY. Ooh, this is increasing the blood. Yeah. Yeah, just nothing's great today. No big moves, plus the moves that are happening, they seem like they're just gradually selling off. I haven't seen anything hold up well except really BKYI, but that was a penny stock. Also, that's twice now ATON didn't do what I expected, so I'm not going to trade it anymore today, regardless of what it does. I gave it 2 chances. Even just a $5 red day. I mean, I'm up like 85 bucks or something on the week. $5 red day is nothing. Today's just so slow. It's just a Friday. I guess the one thing this would have going for it is it's close to 1, and the float is somewhat low. And this news could be positive too. ATON moving at opening. Yeah, no, I expected to move by open. Like I said, it was so overextended. All right, I think right as I sold to, it was starting to actually curl more. Yeah, it went up to 4. Screw this, man. Screw this stock. This stock is bullying me, man. Like, right, I buy here, I hold for 30 minutes, then I sell. And then when it comes down, I buy here, I hold for like another 30 minutes, and then I sell. Yeah, volume is extremely low. That was a big thing I noticed too. This is probably one of the lowest volume days of the week. Low volume, slow movers, nothing holding up really. Typical cold market. The important thing is that I took minimal damage today. I took lower size. I only took 3 trades, right? It's how you survive. So we're seeing this continue higher. Volume is coming in too. I could give this a shot, maybe. It doesn't look terrible, right? 137 is a clear resistance, so we've got room to it. 116 is the next clear resistance. Volume is picking up too. It could just be good data, right? This is kind of thing where I can't really assess this kind of news catalyst. The only thing I can say is it could be good, right? I'm no data scientist or biologist, so I wouldn't know what the data in here is actually telling me. Just that it could be good. Because they can always word it so misleadingly. This was quite a nice move from the break of 1, though, from 1 to 114. 14-cent move. That's actually really solid. So it looks like the last 2 days, we had this surge, and then it flushed for some reason. Was there news that came out a couple days ago? Okay, so they reported earnings, and it was a loss, probably bigger than expected. And that's probably what caused the plunge. And if this thing has actually rallied up to 110, then this news catalyst was probably good. It looks like we might have a topping tail, highest volume candle, somewhat large candle when it's pulling back. I think I just need to wait. If we see... If we see a pullback and the volume continues to go down, that could be an entry. All right, because right now we're on pace to be the same volume, but it could be buyers stepping in here. That last second flush, not really what I'd want to see. continuing to see high volume. This move is quite slow, though. Could indicate there's a buyer here. Right, that candle was very small relative to this volume. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't feel like I trust it. We have 90, 94 to 90 to 1. I think I'm just going to watch this one. During this whole pullback, the volume was so high. It's possible there was a buyer here, right? Because this candle was very small, but the volume was high. So there could have been a buyer here. But a buyer here after this very large selling pressure, I don't know. Yeah, 95 was a critical level. It looks like it for the most part held. The volume in it is increasing. The 1 minute high did work here, right? This was a 1 minute high setup. It did work. All right, you could have gotten about 9 to 10 cents out of that. The key would have been identifying that this small candle had higher volume. So you could have maybe inferred that there was a hidden buyer there. But I don't know, just the way things have been acting today with stocks, I'm less trustworthy. It is nice to see that we're having green bars have higher volume, though. This one also has very high volume. A little bit of a wick here, a little bit of indecision. It's it's really hard for me to assess this one. It's got some things going for it, some things not. Hmm. I really don't like how it's a cheaper stock. Yeah, I mean, I'm so worried too because we are like just kind of grinding higher. This was the only clear pullback, but it was on such high volume. This made it not very clean. If you're buying here, you basically are buying the top. But like we are also seeing the highest volume candles too right now. So like there is some argument saying that this could go higher. It's very unclear to me. Also with this candle, you had very high volume. Could maybe be a seller here. These two candles were lower volume, but they're still quite high. This could be selling pressure. Ask at 18K shares. Yeah, 18K shares doesn't really mean anything with this kind of volume, right? If you're getting 0.5 million shares per minute, 18K gets eaten up instantly. Also, it's a cheaper stock, so 18K shares doesn't mean as much. I think I just need to not touch this one. It's not a super high quality setup and criteria. It has a lot going for it, but I think given how slow today is, I just need to sit back on this one. When 9 o'clock comes, I will see if anything comes up. And if I don't see anything, then I'll bounce. Good luck to anyone trying to trade this. Yeah. We haven't really had like a lot of competition either. It's only been like one stock going. We've had like maybe 5 catalysts today. And all of them kind of sucked. BKYI was the only one I think that was actually a decent catalyst today. And we had a somewhat decent move on it. But it was cheaper. When you enter, it will be short time. Or it will be time. Yeah. We had 2 failed 1-minute highs. This one was a failed attempt. This one... Well, I was going to say it was a failed attempt, but it's holding. It's not really failed. Yet. You're trading on a cash account? Yeah, same. Once they implement if they go through with it and they make the reduced margin account, I am actually going to attempt that. I don't really like margin, but if you can only risk $2,000 in it, I think that actually could be worth switching from a cash account to a margin account. But until then, I just feel like you're really exposing yourself to a lot of risk with Forex leverage. Yeah, in this market, don't trust margin. I mean, I don't really trust margin with just myself. And I mean, maybe that's a more internal thing, but it's just since I'm the only one really controlling myself. Just the thought that if I lose control for even a moment with Forex leverage, that just seems so dangerous. It is open on Robinhood. I have tried it. Oh, so you have a margin account and you only need like 2,000 on Robinhood? Robinhood, well, their platform kind of sucks. I haven't used it for like 5 or 6 years, so they might have changed since then. But in the past, it was extremely primitive. Seeing very high volume on this spike. You have both. Multi-trading. Oh, you went and made a CMEG account? Yeah, I thought about doing CMEG. It looks like we might be seeing a rug. I don't know. Yeah, CMEG would be another option, right? You go ahead, you make like I think it's like the minimum is $500 or something for CMEG. Give you unlimited trading. In a hot market, you could try that. I have thought about doing that just for a small account challenge. You can't do like with a cash account, you can't really do a small account challenge and try and grow it 5% or 10% a day. Especially in a cold market like this. Yeah, no PDT on CMEG. It's mainly the commissions and the execution speed that are concerning to me. They also have very strange slippage. So, Lightspeed, I mean, there's others. But as far as just execution speed and platform stability, Lightspeed and hotkeys, like Lightspeed is just extremely strong for those things. I mean, I really wouldn't recommend CMEG unless you're an experienced trader, because you can just blow so much so quick. Got a 150,000 share seller here. It's not super huge, but it's significant. This might have just been a top. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't touch this. Yeah, Ross Cameron, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's done CMEG challenges a lot in the past. He's really good with it. Oh, 30 years plus, and you've never heard of it. You're almost 65. I mean, yeah. It's been around for a while. It's a little, I don't want to say sketchy, right? Because I think it's in the Bahamas, and they do that so they can get around the PDT rule, because they don't have to comply to it there. Because it's been around so long, I would argue to say that it's probably a safe broker. I would still do your own research, though. Who don't know Ross? Well, I mean, you said you've never heard of CMEG, but Ross used CMEG, so that's why I assumed you wouldn't know him. But yeah, Ross has he did like a small account challenge, so you can maybe see if he'll go over it. I never looked to see if he had any videos breaking it down, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Yeah, this is not great, seeing this super high volume on this selling pressure. Yeah, this does not look pretty. Yeah, I feel like anybody who trades small caps, there's a good chance you've been exposed to Ross. And if you've been trading for 30 plus years, that's fair. I should have assumed maybe that you would have known him. But yeah, we are almost at the top of the hour, just another 3 minutes, and then I will see if any new stocks come into play. Old school, play it safe. Never been interested in overseas accounts. Well, the problem is too, is you can't do direct deposit because it's overseas, so you have to wire it, and then you got to go through the whole paperwork with your bank. That's fun. But yeah, if this, because I know it got approved, it's still waiting for approval by the SEC, but if they approve that reduced margin account, I probably will actually pause this challenge. I don't know if my challenge, because I have 100 days I'm trying to do for this, but if my 100-day challenge doesn't finish for this and the margin account opens, I may pivot to that. We'll see how far along I am into this, but yeah, I am definitely interested in trying a margin account with an actual, like, onshore broker, right? Like Lightspeed, I would love to do a small account challenge with this broker. So that's definitely something I'm thinking about. Well, it's approved. It's approved by FINRA. It's not approved by the SEC. At least the last time I checked, it was approved like a month ago. But to my knowledge, it has not been approved by the SEC yet. I haven't heard anything about it anyway. If it has, then I suppose it's possible. It's been like a month, but I have not heard anything yet. And I feel like that would have been talked about. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I'm glad I did not chase this. Weepool's kind of cool, right? I think they're zero commission. Yeah, I think I've used Weepool before. I'm pretty sure they're zero commission unless they change their structure. Weepool's pretty cool. They offer very high. I remember in the past they offered very high yearly yields. So if you just had money sitting in the account, it was like 6 or 8% interest or something crazy high. All right, so we're at 9 o'clock. I'm going to give it 5 minutes. If I see anything come into play on the scanners, then I will stick around and assess it. But if I don't see anything in the next 5 minutes, I'm bouncing. I haven't been staying until 9 the last couple days. The reason I'm doing it today is because both Thursday and Wednesday, we had stocks coming up at the 9 o'clock hour. And because I was getting off at 9, I was missing them. So... yeah. Do we know when the SEC would make a decision? We don't, but historically they tend to respond within 1 to 2 months. So that's kind of the time frame I'm expecting. It's been about 1 month, so we're approaching the time where they typically give a response. But that's just like the typical range. 3.85%. I thought it was higher. It might just be like the first... It might be a temporary thing then or some like special promo. But I could have swore it was much higher. Commission fee is very little. I thought it was free, but it could be very little. Again, I'm pretty sure it's low to non-existent, but I haven't used it in so long. So again, my data just might be outdated. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, man, like that's gonna be a game changer if they lower it. It's gonna completely revamp the market. Yeah, when I saw FINRA approved it, I got all excited. Then I saw that SEC still needs to finalize it. And then even after the SEC approves it, I mean, I hate to be that guy, but even if they do approve it, it usually takes like 6 months to a year before they actually implement it. So even if it passes, we're not going to see anything until 2026. The one thing that I did remember with Weeble having a one-up on Thinkorswim on was Thinkorswim, they actually still charge a good bit for options contracts, but with Weeble, it's way cheaper. I think it's like a fifth of the price of Thinkorswim. So that's like the one leg up I think Weeble has. It's probably one of the best options brokers, at least in terms of price. I'm surprised you're still here, Dr. Happy Joints. I thought you had work. Or are you just stopping in? I'll give it another minute here. If I don't see anything on the scanners, I'm probably done. You're driving and watching. Don't crash. Don't crash, man. Be safe. Man, there's just nothing. All right. Yeah, I gave it 5 minutes. Nothing's popping up. I'm going to call it here. $5 red day to end the week is what it is. Still, honestly, this week's actually been pretty solid considering how slow the market's been. Yeah, no, I'm done. I gave it a chance. I saw that Thursday and Wednesday we were seeing some of the bigger movers coming in at 9 o'clock. So I waited. Nothing's coming up on scanners. I'm done. Let's see. So we had 3 trades. I'll go ahead and show you guys just how this small cap has been going. So I think we're actually back to slightly red on the small cap challenge. So let me log today's results here. So with 100 shares, let's see here. We had 1 winner, 2 losers. Incredible gains of $4.50. Incredible loss of $9.50. Check that out. $5 loss. Yeah, so in total, we are down $7 on the account now. After commissions. Before commissions, we're actually up 73, so I've been doing great. It's just this churn has been really crushing me. My accuracy's dropped a little bit. It's typically around 70%. Makes sense in a colder market. I'm going to be wrong more. And yeah, I mean, just the number of trades too. You can see when we were at the start of the cold market, like we had a 7-day trade here, 7-day trade, 7-day, 9-day. And especially this last week, I've really cut it down. There's been no days this week where I've taken more than 6 trades. So I've been really reducing, and it seems my accuracy has gone up as a result. But yeah, I mean, even though I'm profitable, like it's not enough currently to beat the commissions. And I attribute that just to, you figure, if on average I would try to aim for 15 to 20 cents of profit, in the colder market that range is condensed so heavily that condension of my potential profit combined with the churning and the lowered accuracy, it makes sense that I wouldn't be profitable. And that's just the reality of the situation. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll go ahead and make the recap later here. I should be thankful that it's not even a bad result today, considering how slow things are. I mean, one last thing I want to go over before I wrap up here. I just want to go over like what's been happening today and why I'm so happy with this. So Aton, I tried 2 bullish plays on this. The fact that it did this big of a move and I'm only down, well, I'm actually up $2 on it. That's solid. PHIO basically spiked and dumped, so that's 2 for 2. MTVA, this one has performed decently, so I'll say this is a 2 losers 1 winning setup. BKYI, this one was also decent. MSGM, this one went sideways. So really the reality is we had 2 terrible performing stocks, 2 stocks that moved up but they were slow, and then we had MSGM, which just kind of went sideways. So nothing too crazy today. Yeah, there was no really great opportunity in my opinion. Happy that you're green on the week. Market has been really slow. Yeah, no, and this has been a solid week. I'm up like $75 or something on the week. This has been a solid week for me. But yeah, you guys all take care. I'll go ahead and make the recap a bit later, and I will be back